Cailin brought I ruined the joke.
Whoop, do it again. Run it from the top.
Cailin brought pop brownies.
I bought pop brownies.
From the Amish?
From the Amish. The Amish Mafia, actually.
Alright, what are we doing?
We're watching Baccano.
What else is new?
Watching episode 9. Something. Claire Stanfield. So.
Who's that?
That's the only name I remember.
Oh,
it's a name that's been mentioned before, but we've never seen whoever they.
Is this episode gonna make sense? What happened in the last episode? Okay.
Maybe.
So we found out how immortals become immortal.
Yes.
What happened in the 8th episode? Isaac and
Miria. It's
they were doing stuff.
When they robbed the Genovians.
Right.
And they basically just make everybody happy.
Yes. But did we do anything with the rail tracer?
Not much with the rail tracer.
Okay. But I kind of want to know about, like, Ennis, when her and Fiora are going to have their meet cute, or their, like, their second meet cute. Their
follow-up.
The follow-up. When's the train going to crash? Who are the black-suited people?
Yeah.
What's up with Marquis de Lafayette?
Yeah, what's up with Marquis de Lafayette? At least we saw him the last time.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Cailin Clothier. With me is my co-host.
No. I'm Dara Whitman.
I was going to say, please state your name for the record. How's it going, Dara?
You know what? I need to start thinking of jokes.
We need the
jokes. We'll be better if I actually, like, write down, like, oh, this will be a funny bit.
Yeah.
I'll do that thing. But then I'm like, do I want to be more offensive to Italians than
I probably should stop being so offensive to Italians.
We like Italians, though.
Welcome to Baccano. It's Italian for ruckus. If we didn't say that already. But anyway,
I thought it was Japanese for ruckus.
No, it's Italian.
Okay, fine then.
I don't know what the Japanese word for ruckus is. I should check that. But no, we are still on the Baccano trend. We are on the back half because, like, we're starting to... Things are starting to come together. Things are starting to make more sense, which means things are coming to an end.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about episodes 9, which is Claire Stanfield faithfully carries out the mission, and episode 10, Chesla Mayer is forced to rework his tremble before the specter of immortals strategy. So what did you think of these episodes, Dara?
I think I like the last two better because, like, I felt like it was, like, more like story, but I still like these.
Yeah.
But, like, this, like, the first episode we're going to talk about, first of all, like, no jacuzzi gang.
Yeah, like, jacuzzi got, like, a shot, I think, in it, which was, like, a flashback shot, so.
And then, like, barely any Isaac and Mira. So, like, you go down a peg.
But, it had the moment I was waiting for in it, so, like, we got to even it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. But before we get and talk about all that good stuff, we should start with a synopsis.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start with 1932.
The Flying Pussyfoot switched out more than just its engine. It switched out its passenger cars as well.
If I remember correctly, wasn't Rachel aboard the Flying Pussyfoot?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's wait.
Who's Rachel?
Good question.
I mean, I know.
What did she say? Did she talk to anyone?
She's Spider-Gwen, the other girl.
So we're looking after the events of the Flying Pussyfoot. We are back in the daily days where all that stuff is going on in New York City. So they're talking about kind of the aftermath of the Flying Pussyfoot because they're kind of going over all of the events. You know, there's some things that happened. They had, like, the engines were switched out. They had, like, the people were switched. Apparently there's been a lot of people died on this trip, and so they're trying to figure out what that all is about. But there was actually happened to be a member of the Daily Days who was on there, who we've actually seen, but we've never actually been properly introduced to.
Spoilers! It's Spider-Gwen.
It's Spider-Gwen, yes.
Spider-Gwen! So is she Rachel?
She's Rachel, yeah.
Okay.
So, you hitch another free ride, Rachel?
I certainly did. Is that a problem for you?
Nicholas,
Fuck him up.
Judging by Rachel's injured condition, I should think you would have the common sense to know this is no time for jokes.
It's always a time for jokes.
Please excuse me, I'm not very funny.
No, you're not.
Normally, I would give someone.
So she's a thief, but she has a job.
She's not a thief.
But we are in the business of information.
She's a
reporter.
Have to dispense with a formality.
But she didn't pay to get on the train?
What happened aboard that?
Well, sir, I don't know if I can say that all of the stories are true. But there was a monster there, riding aboard the Flying Pussyfoot. I saw it, a brutal crimson monster.
Claire Stanfield faithfully carries out the mission.
Who's Claire?
That's a great question. Yeah, so her real name is Rachel, and so we know her. She is known as the woman in coveralls who likes to, crawl along the side of the train.
Like a Spider-Gwen.
Yes, because she doesn't actually have a ticket. She boarded the train without a ticket,
well,
as we kind of learn later.
So question.
Yeah.
Why? If she has a job, she probably has some money.
I was going to say, could she not expense that?
Right. Also, like, if she's doing her work, that's an expense.
Right.
Does she just like to get on trains for free?
It sounds like Nicholas made a joke that's kind of a thing that she does. So
that's not a club. Is it kind of kleptomania?
I don't think that's kleptomania.
I mean, you're stealing a seat.
I mean, it's a Schwarzfachen. I don't know if we have a word for that.
The what?
I don't know if we have a word for that.
You just speak German to me?
Yeah, Schwarzfachen. Hold on. We gotta see if it has a direct translation, because I only know it in German. If not, I'm about to educate the class on some German terms.
This is Cailin''s. Do you do conversational German?
I can hold a conversation in German.
I don't think you're fluent. Not to be not like saying
no. I'm not super fluent.
Yeah,
I mean, I wish I was. I was a German minor, so like I can
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm like but like I remember you saying to me, I'm pretty sure you're not fluent.
Yeah, and I wish I was way more fluent than I was. I should be fluent, and I'm not at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you type in Schwarzfachen into Google Translate, it just says travel without paying.
So she's a Schwarzfacher.
She's a Schwarzfacher, which translates to black driving. That's literally what it translates to. But in Germany, you don't have to show your ticket when you're boarding a bus. They come around well, not that they come around later, but if you're just doing like a bus, you can just like hop on. But if you don't actually have a ticket, every so often, like a guy will just like stand up and start yelling, which is great. In America, that would be terrifying. In Germany, it happens from time to time. And
somebody just comes and yells at you for not having a ticket.
Well, they tell you to take out your ticket, and so they come around checking. If you don't have your ticket, you're like fined like 50, 75, 100 euros, depending.
Why don't they just do the thing they do on like trains like here, where like you can get on the train and then you buy the ticket on the train?
Because it's way more efficient, because you don't have to wait for people to pay and then keep moving. So it's super efficient. Like all the buses in Germany always on time. It's fabulous.
Okay.
It's a great system. But anyway, when you travel without paying, it's called Schwarzfachen. So I hope I educated some of you guys who were maybe not familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, apparently that is a hobby of Rachel's. But something else that we noticed about her, that she is injured. She's on crutches, her legs kind of wrapped up.
So she was in the thing with the monster that's totally not human thing.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, we're in a room with Nicholas Wayne, who is the guy who seems to be kind of a little bit of a troublemaker.
Also related to Batman?
May or may not be related to Batman. And then the president, who we never see his face. The joke is that he's always behind a stack of papers.
Yeah.
The president seems like very concerned about her, kind of wants to know more. And Nicholas kind of cracks inappropriate jokes, which is fine.
It was the time period. That's when you were allowed to make inappropriate jokes towards women, right?
Yeah, yes. You sure could. Great.
So here's the joke. You could, because you scared them too much to not say anything.
It was a fun time. It's a fun time to be alive. So
we're good now, right? Better?
Yeah, Dara.
Better?
Everything's great. Everything's perfect.
We're better.
We're better.
Better,
I would say. But so yes, and the president, among all the things that they're hearing about the flying pussyfoot, they ask about the rail tracer. And so Rachel says that she heard people talking about the rail tracer. So we see kind of flashes. So we see kind of the events that we've already seen from her perspective, which is when she was in the dining car, we see in the distance that conversation that Jacuzzi and Isaac and Mira are having about the rail tracer. She doesn't really know, but she knows that there was a monster aboard the train.
Was it a monster? Well,
a little bit of a monster.
Yeah.
Maybe not the type of monster that we were thinking, but definitely I would say.
But who is the monster and who is the man?
Who is the man?
Sing the bells of Notre Dame.
Bells of Notre Dame.
You gonna watch that movie now?
Great music in that movie.
Anyways. And kid friendly.
So we're gonna go back onto the flying pussyfoot. We're gonna like kind of travel back in time. We're not really like talking about it. We're just gonna go there, and then we're gonna follow Lad Russo and his gang, who is having a good time.
Wow.
Wait, is the girl in the black dress the rail tracer and Claire?
Oh my God!
She's
Why
Shawnee.
is there so much
Oh.
blood? Kind of thing can make such
You
a
can't be
beautiful
shocked by
mess.
this.
Wait, hold on a second. Could it be? Is this gentleman here without a face the guy we call Doom?
Oh.
You know what
that fella don't have a face.
That's fine.
That we are now the... How are we to avenge our friend if he can't talk, much less find his own face?
It's terrible.
You poor faceless bastard. Your brothers are even denied the simple act.
Oh, gotta learn to like him.
So now,
He's silly
how can you
and murderous.
Oh, flashback.
Thing is, everyone who hears this story dies.
Great.
So I'm sorry.
So we see the conductor's kind of little compartment. And spoiler, not a spoiler because we saw a jacuzzi had uncovered. There was 2 dead bodies there.
Right.
Which is great. Real fun time
What
that
is
was.
his face?
One
Off.
has no face. Face off. Very good. Thank you, Tara.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think I've ever actually seen the full
Me
thing.
neither.
But it's very memeable. So I've absorbed parts through cultural osmosis. So we kind of find out that one of the bodies, I actually missed this part, I think, when we were watching, is that Lad figures out that one of the bodies is not one of the conductors. It is, in fact, his name is Dune, who was one of Lad's gang.
Okay.
But Lad is kind of like playing in the viscera, which he's crazy. He's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, I like.
He's fun.
I'm starting to like him.
Yeah. Like, Lad's where you're like, this crazy guy, but he is, to a degree, very fun. So we're going to actually flash back. We're going to kind of see something that we thought we understood the ending of, but we actually didn't know what was going on at all.
Correct.
Because we thought, the last thing we saw in episode 2 was we found out the middle-aged conductor was part of the Lemures, or the Lemur, I think...
the Lafayette guy?
Lafayette says Lemure in the next episode, but I'm just going to call them the Lemures. So we see... middle-aged guy was kind of one of the lemurs, cuts the young conductor off from telling the story of the rail tracer and talking about how blah, 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 Huey Laforet, all that good stuff, and points a gun at him. And we hear a gun go off. And so we just assume, darn, what a shame. Bye, young conductor.
It was his first day on the job.
It was his first day on the job. And we kind of figure out absolutely none of that is true.
Nope.
Spared.
What?
There is one way to be spared.
What happened?
You just have to kill it before it kills you.
Now, hold on.
It's too late.
Kill him.
The rail tracer is certain now to show up for all the people of this train. Your sacrifice will surely awaken it. It's time for you to die.
What a twist!
Hooray! I like that. So we just kick the gun out of...
Yeah. After the gun is actually pointed at the young conductor, he knows a thing or two.
Or 12.
So he knows many a thing, and he is very skilled.
Yes.
In all things physical, so good for him. And he actually kicks the gun out of the middle-aged conductor's hand.
Yep.
And catches it.
Yep.
So, and then he finally gets to finish his story about how you defeat the rail tracer, which we didn't know this whole time. We've gone episodes, Derek.
Oh, I forgot that we didn't know. I didn't care. I'm like, whatever.
We knew the young conductor knew the story. We thought the secret died with him, but no, in fact, he tells us it's, oh gosh. In order to stop the rail tracer, you have to actually believe in the story, but now it's too late. He says, so you just have to kill before you are killed, basically, which is fun.
Right.
That the only way to survive it is to believe in his story and prevent the rail tracer's arrival in the first place. If it has already come, one's only hope is to flee until sunrise. He hastens to clarify that it is too late for the middle-aged conductor, and that the rail tracer is certain to wake with his death. So then he shoots him in the face.
Right.
What a twist!
What
Tara.
a twist!
What a twist! It turns out that the young conductor was fine. It was in fact the middle-aged conductor that was shot.
Right.
In the face.
Right. Also.
Yeah.
More stuff.
More things happen.
What?
What's going on?
So there's two young conductors?
No, that was the guy in Lad's gang who beat up the old guy.
I ain't doing nothing to nobody, got it?
There were only 2 conductors who were scheduled to be aboard this train tonight. I can see this will take something more.
What?
Hold on, pal. You mean torture? You never get reliable information. I should know.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Does America know that?
It was nice of you to drop your gun and
Great
even
question.
things up like that.
It's not so much that just the middle-aged conductor is shot in the face. I mean, the guy seemed kind of like an asshole anyway, so it's whatever. We see Dune walks in, who is, if we go back, I think, to the second episode, one of Lad's gang, they were looking for some disguises so they could do some shenanigans aboard, and one of his guys kills the old conductor.
Yeah.
His name was Tony. It was his last day on the job before retirement, and he just kills him, throws him in a ditch somewhere. I think throws him like down the river or something. But steals a uniform. And so he walks into the room, and the young conductor makes a comment. He's like, "Hey, there's only supposed to be 2 of us on here. Who the hell are you?" And he wants to kind of know what's going on. The young conductor seems like he knows a thing or two about getting information and just about like stuff. So I think he threatens to torture him. To which Dune says that he you can't actually get reliable information through torture, which has been proven before.
Yeah.
So, and the young conductor is like, all right, and then just kind of like walks out. He just like walks out into outside the train, and you're like, what's this guy doing? And so the other guy follows him, doesn't see anything, and then it gets kind of messed up.
A little bit. Got 5 theories right now. Oh.
Rough.
Maybe not.
That's too bad.
Wait.
Oh, fuck him up. Terrible.
His face get ripped off?
Young conductor takes one of the lads' gang, grabs him, and then just holds him above the tracks of the train. Like we saw the rail tracer do before.
Right.
Interesting. And then I think he takes off his arm? He
puts like face.
No, well first I think it's his arm. That's how he loses his arm.
And then go strong.
Yeah, and that's
which is hard to it was hard for me to figure out who was what because like it was dark and also they kind of looked alike.
They do because they're both like young fellas wearing conductor uniforms.
And they're
so
redheads.
You're like, huh? Yeah.
So it's hard. I'm like, wait, what's going on? I was like, was that a random guy doing it, or was it the young conductor?
Then it bounces back back and forth a little bit between the aftermath of the scene and how that scene came to be. So again, we see Lad kind of dancing in blood. Great, and he wants to figure out who killed these people and then kill them, along with of course the black suits.
Question.
Yeah.
So they looked alike. Which one was which? I wasn't sure.
The guy who just got jacked up was the Lad's gang guy.
So that was the guy in the thing. So the young conductor
is still alive.
Is he the monster?
Might just be.
Okay.
I know what your buddy's little plan is. So just one more question. Why the hell are you dressed up like a conductor?
Is he Two-Face now?
It's fine.
No.
That's your reason? You're just killing for the fun of it, huh? Where'd you get the uniform then?
I killed him! I killed him!
He's fine.
It was so much fun!
Not the old conductor.
He was one day away from retirement.
You should know that old conductor's name was Tony.
This is for Tony.
He taught me everything I know about being a conductor.
Ay.
That's what you get. And he says that he hopes the murderer is the sort of person who thinks that he will never be killed. So, because we know kind of Lad's deal is that one of the things he likes about murdering is murdering people who aren't expecting to die.
Yeah.
He likes taking that away from people. Dude is messed up.
It's fine.
Just all kinds of messed up.
This is fine.
But after horrifically and brutally removing Dune's arm, the young conductor learns kind of more about what's going on, that he's affiliated with the Russo family, and what Lad and co. are going to do on the train. So
does he also learn about the old conductor being dead?
The next thing. He asks, like, where'd you get that uniform? And then Dune, who is kind of going a little crazy, probably because he's, I imagine, a lot of pain, and also because he's crazy and just murders people, talks about how much he loves murdering people.
I was going to say, it does hurt when your arm gets ripped off.
I would imagine.
I was just watching, because I keep saying you should watch Kong Skull Island. I was rewatching that, and there's like that bit, there's a bit where these like monsters grab this like one scientist guy, and you just like see it in like this like beautiful sunset, him just getting ripped apart.
Oh,
it's a great movie.
That hurt. That shit hurt it.
And then before that happened, he was like, "Oh, thank God I'm alive." You didn't watch it. It's so much fun.
I know. You keep saying good things about it. I should definitely.
That's
watch
like, because that's the only one of that multi-universe that I've actually seen, and I'm like, that was so much fun.
Oh boy,
it's on HBO Max if you want to watch it.
Tempting. I should do that.
And again, he got Brie Larson in it, and John Goodman, and Tom Hiddleston, and Sam Jackson.
You raise very valid points. Very valid points. And so Baccano. So back on this fabulous torture scene, of course, Dune is talking about how he loves to kill, and how he in fact killed the old conductor just to get his thing because he thought that was fun, I guess.
But he did send the old conductor to the ultimate retirement.
I don't think he gets the pension there.
Eternal pension.
Eternal pension. Terrible.
We can make death jokes, right?
Yep. But apparently the old conductor's name, of course, was Tony, and Tony taught the young conductor everything he knows about being a train conductor.
So now you.
So now you shall perish.
Now you shall perish.
And then he puts his face.
And then it
on
gets
the tracks.
Off.
No, his face
is off.
Crazy. It's fun.
It's
fun. So of course, back in the present.
What present?
The present. That's the one they're observing the aftermath of the scene. Lad and that's true. There is no present here.
I was about to say.
You raise a fair point, Dara. I stand corrected.
But I'm gonna kill whoever did this and those damn black suits. So go hide, okay?
She still confuses me.
Lua, my precious angel.
That was a lot of cornstarch. Syrup, one of them.
All of this is over.
Ketchup.
I thought that was her. I thought that was his girlfriend, fiance, lover.
Yes.
The Russo family.
He kind of talks to Lua and just says that she has to be careful because the only one who's supposed to kill her is him. So, again, she doesn't seem like super into that.
I don't know what, she sometimes is and then sometimes isn't.
Sometimes she's like, yeah, and then sometimes she's like, ooh. And I'm like, what's your deal, girl?
You know what I was kind of thinking? I was kind of, I don't know, for some reason, because I remember I watched, the first episodes of American Gods until, apparently it didn't get, or it still stopped being good.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of, depict, it kind of reminded, so she kind of reminds me of, Laura, the wife, in that show, because it kind of, accepted her character from, the book.
Yeah.
And so, in the show, she was, kind of just, was, a bit depressed and, wanted to, feel something,
mm-hmm.
Kind of things that she would, do these, things, she might have killed herself, but, didn't, and, I forget, I probably need to rewatch the episode, but it's kind of a thing of, she couldn't really, feel anything, so she was, trying to watch stuff to feel stuff, getting, and, having a good life, and then, she gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and then after that happens, then she be spoilers for American Gods. But then when with Shadow, the main character finds out that she died, basically, puts a magic leprechaun coin in her grave, and then she becomes a zombie. It makes sense. Not a zombie where but she can talk and stuff.
Okay.
It was a magic leprechaun coin.
I'll take your word for it, Dara.
What's the weird part here?
I don't understand what's so strange about that. You're right. I'm being judgy.
It's a world where all this stuff exists. So.
I'm being very judgy, and I should stop.
Was it the fact that it said leprechaun coin?
Might have been the leprechaun.
It was a leper. It was a normal. I mean,
was it from a pot of gold at the end of the
rainbow? No. Shadow met a leprechaun, and then I think they were playing a game, and then he won the game.
Okay.
So then but then the leprechaun accidentally gave him the coin.
Okay. I'm following.
Yes. But no, so she comes back as a zombie.
I'm lost now. Okay,
and then she can feel something again. Okay. If she wants shot. Anyway, continue.
Baccano. Wait, how did this relate to Lua?
Oh, I kind of felt like she's kind of like that. She just wants to feel something.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
That went off the rails. Speaking of rails,
Baccano.
Baccano.
I'm the monster who's gonna devour you all.
Okay.
It's begun. I have become the rail tracer.
Oh, what a wacko.
Wait.
I love him.
Do you become the rail tracer when you tell the story? But then Isaac told the story and he didn't become the rail tracer.
No, he just decided. He's like, I think I'm just gonna be the rail tracer now.
So there isn't a monster. So
there is no. The monster is a person.
Interesting.
But didn't he like fly?
Don't think about it.
Yeah, like wasn't he?
Your ticket, please.
That was stupid.
Excuse me.
So yes, and then we kind of go back to young conductor being a absolute freaking nut job. Oh, I love him dearly.
It's where like we officially learn that.
I forget. Well, so we sort of So anyway, he like kind of tosses the body back into the compartment, and then he uses the blood to like do some makeup. He like puts it on his lines, like does like a whole hand to the face, and basically covers himself in blood, kind of becoming some kind of crimson shadow. Interesting.
So this is where we learn that.
Yes, and so then he vows to become the monster that devours the lemures and the white suits, and he announces that he has become, Dara, the rail tracer.
So question.
Yes.
So the story's just a story.
The story's just a story.
So the rail tracer technically isn't real.
Correct.
Like I know like he's saying he's the rail tracer, but like technically it's not real.
It's just like an urban legend.
Okay, so the only magical thing about the show is immortals.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, yes, in this show. So the show exists in like a universe with other things where like other things do exist, but we don't come across them in the show.
Okay.
You didn't need to know that, but I felt I had to be 100% accurate. If you want things where there's like a lot of wild shit, just go watch Rah Rah Rah. So I just bear with me, Dara. I never saw the second season because I'm like,
also like we need to. I think we like so, but he can't. So he can fly or he can't. I don't really get to figure out like who this guy actually is, but like he can't technically. Fly.
He doesn't have superpowers,
right?
Which is interesting because I think that this character is very presented in a very superhuman way, but there's nothing about him that's intrinsically superhuman.
Right.
It's all the things that all the skills that he has developed personally. And it's so funny in like a whole show of like immortals and everything, like this is the guy you're like, oh shit. That's why I love him. So we're going to go back to kind of after the events of the Flying Pussyfoot back in the Daily Days office. We kind of are talking more about kind of the things that Rachel personally experienced. Mm-hmm. One of those is that encounter. Remember from an earlier episode, she was like Spider-Gwenning all around the train, and then like the rail tracer came up and like whispered something to her. So we find out what he actually said, which we thought was something like very terrifying because she screamed. But what he asked was for if she had her ticket, which meant is like kind of funny.
Which is like, well, that meant that like he knew that she snuck on the train.
Yeah. So, and we get a little more information about who this guy is. I've been saying the young conductor, now I get to actually say his name.
That conductor was Vino.
Vino.
But how can you be so
We've heard that name before.
Have we? When?
Multiple times.
When?
Feared and elusive monster.
Who's Vino?
If he were a conductor on a transcontinental express, it would be possible.
It would certainly explain why he's so elusive.
Vino, also known as Claire Stanfield,
There it is.
Oh.
was practically raised by the father of the Gandor family.
Oh, he's a Gandalf?
Next to the Gandors.
Related to the
Claire was orphaned
Gandalfs.
and subsequently taken in by their family. That's why Luck, Keith, and Berga think of him as their fourth brother.
Rumor is that he ran away with the circus.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Him to gain strength and agility that were beyond any that had been seen before. Skills that must be of use now.
So we can jump.
And do some flips.
So that's how he flies?
Basically.
Don't think about it?
Don't think about it.
Okay.
But the president of who knows a lot of things, the president of Daily Days.
He knows too much things.
Is incredibly knowledgeable about all things. And we find out later, like he knows a lot of things. So this young conductor guy, he has a name. He has a couple different names actually, but they first refer to him here as Vino, which is a name that we've actually heard early in the series. We know that he's an assassin.
Don't remember.
And he kills a lot of people.
Yep.
That's kind of his deal.
Yep.
And so his whole story is that he was actually born with the name Claire Stanfield.
Yep.
Which is a name we've also heard.
Don't remember.
A couple times. Somebody mentions Claire or Claire Stanfield. And so he's actually a Gandalf, we learn.
Yeah.
So
he's an adopted Gandalf.
He's an adopted Gandalf, yes. So he was raised in the Gandor family, and of course we know all the very famous Gandors, like Christian Bale.
Yep.
And then those other guys.
Yeah, but I was like, do we ever really meet the other guys?
It's so funny. I think one of the Gandor brothers is like famous for not saying anything. He actually doesn't have a single line in the whole show, but he has a card.
But a couple of them have title cards, but I only remember Christian Bale.
Yeah. So I think Burger talks. So yeah, I mean. Luck is kind of the one that runs things, or like is the more of the face. There's also Keith and Burger. Keith literally doesn't say anything. I think Burger says some things. But no, they're known as like the three Gandor brothers, the Gandalfs as we know them. But Claire is kind of considered like the fourth Gandalf brother. But he ran away to the circus when he was young, because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So he spent a lot of time in the circus, basically perfecting his skills. So he has kind of superhuman abilities in that way, but it's more just like he's very well trained.
Yeah.
So he knows how to do like flips and shit.
Right.
He's like an acrobat.
So he said Dick Grayson.
Yeah. That's how I think of like his kind of backstory is just like Dick Grayson.
Do you want to call him Dick Grayson?
I like Claire. I think Claire's a good name.
I might switch between Claire and Dick Grayson.
That's fine.
Also, you don't hear Claire much for a boy.
No, it is actually a boy's name. It's interesting here they spell it with an E in the wiki, but I want to think it's without the E. If you spell it without the E, it's the boy's name.
I thought it was with the E in the show, though. On the title screen, wasn't it?
Claire doesn't have a title in the...
No, not the title screen. I meant the episode title.
The episode title? I think it... Well, he might... Oh, yeah, he does. But usually if you're doing it, Claire is and can be a boy's name. It's usually spelled without the E, though. So.
Yeah, I just remember always hearing the girl's name. Okay.
It's like there's a lot of names that used to be boys' names but are now girl names, like Leslie, Shannon, Courtney.
Isn't your name?
No. The way my name is spelled means girl, so that's pretty straightforward. But there are people with the name Cailin spelled differently that are boys. But yeah, so there's a few of those kinds of names. And I lost my spot in the wiki, so, like, life is hard, folks.
So, Baccano.
Wow, I scrolled up a lot. Okay. Anyway. So, Claire Stanfield, a.k.a. Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Vino, a.k.a. the Rail Tracer.
A.k.a. the Young Conductor.
A.k.a. the Young Conductor. In the wiki, he's listed as a whole other name completely, which is great. Which I think is more from the books than the show, because I don't think...
What if I saw the picture of, like, when I was in Barnes & Noble and I found the books?
Oh, yeah?
And I sent you a picture.
Oh, yeah, you did?
No, I don't know if I still have the picture saved, but I saved it to you.
Yeah. Well, it's probably in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, I forget if it was, like, an actual book or the manga. I don't remember. I found a bunch of them, and I'm like, I don't recognize this character, so I put it back, and then I found one with Fiera, and I'm like, ah.
There's a lot of characters, I think, in the books.
Is the book still going?
I think they are. The wiki says they are.
So why don't they keep the show? Oh, because it wasn't popular?
Yeah. Didn't quite get what it needed. And
well, America, bring it back.
Come on, America,
bring it back. Do a live action version. That'd be fun. Get Christian Bale.
Get Christian Bale.
Get a white Disney kid. Maybe not the kid from the new Cinderella movie.
Yeah, that was not good.
That was not good.
We watched that.
On Patreon.
And it was not fun.
It was not. It was fun for like 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just boring.
It was just boring. So...
But Cailin really liked the mice.
So
Baccano.
You and Len may be perfectly fine with just offing a bunch of people. I got other more refined habits.
Like grave robbing.
Well, it's better than in the grave.
That's true. Is it? Is desecration better than murder? These are the questions.
I mean, if you didn't murder them. Also, like, what's here?
For the mess he leaves behind when he makes a kill.
Also, like, how is he in the shadows? Is it just like the lights? Does he have a cape?
He thinks the lights, plus he's covered in blood. That's why he's a crimson shadow.
It seems to be his
That must not smell good.
The job undone.
Oh, there's a quick scene in the Flying Pussyfoot where the white suits are killing some of the black suits, and some of them just like killing, and others, like grave robbing. So we can talk about the ethics of that. Which one's worse? Which one's better?
You didn't murder the body.
One person murdered, the other
like, what if it's a thing of like, I didn't murder this body, but I'm gonna rob it, and then I'll call the police.
It's still bad, but I guess less so. These are the questions. Leave us a comment discussing the ethics of grave robbing. Thank you. And this is. Oh, that's just because then this is where the lights flicker and then the red shadow comes in. So yeah, we find out that like kind of the red shadow we're seeing is again one of those things that are kind of aesthetic, really.
Yeah,
it's more of like the specter because he's kind of covered in blood and stuff. He kind of creates this image of like this crimson shadow.
You could also look at the lights are off.
Yeah, exactly.
It works.
And people are freaked out. So I think we're kind of more seeing the specter that they're seeing or that they're fabricating based on their own fear rather than what actually happening. What's really happening is that this dude is just doing flips and shit and then throwing people on the tracks.
Would Batman approve?
Probably not.
Also,
Probably
did Dick
not.
Grayson, was he the one that got killed by the Joker?
No, that was Jason Todd.
I know comics.
You know it's
fine. I know the names, but I don't remember which one's which.
Todd got killed. And then he came back as Red Hood. So,
do you actually read comics? I'm always never sure about that.
I'm more read up on them. I more so watch adaptations of them, like cartoons and movies.
Oh,
that's what I more so do. But I try to read up to get bonus information. Getting into comics is very intimidating.
It is.
You're like, where do I start? And they're like, well, you could start.
My thing would just be like, why not just like focus on like a character and just like read all their comics?
Yeah. But even then, like half the time there's like 50 years of content.
I think I tried to do like a Deadpool thing, and I found like Deadpool #1, or like it said in one, and then I read it. I'm like, oh, but this is like a bunch of stuff already happened. I'm confused, guys. If there's a good way to get into Marvel or DC, I think it's mainly like those comics that are hard to get into.
Yeah, they're
because I like try. I have like stuff for like Sandman, and I'm like, you like that's like a volume 1 to like volume thing. So
yeah, like, I like ones where it's just like a very like controlled series. That's why manga is good, because manga is just like you start the first and you just keep going, and that's easy.
Yeah.
So,
or like I'm doing Fables now, and that's also like there's like spin-offs, but like it's not very complicated.
Yeah, like I like a very linear
or like graphic
style.
novels. I read.
Yeah, right. I like graphic novels.
Graphic novels are good.
Webcomics. I like webcomics too.
I don't read.
Tell me what your favorite webcomic is, everybody.
Is it the one with the people and the fighting?
Actually, not a lot of fighting in the webcomics that I read. Well, depends.
All right.
Actually, yeah, maybe. I have to read more. It's been a while since I like really read some good webcomics. So leave me your recommendations.
Oh, also Cailin.
Yeah.
Baccano?
Baccano.
You live long enough, and someday I'll tell you the story.
Excuse me, but would you happen to be Mr. Luck Gandor?
Yes, I am.
I have a telegram for you.
You can call me Vino now, or if you like, the Rail Tracer.
You gotta be kidding.
Enough talk. Let's get going. Who do you want me to kill? Last night was a walk in the park.
Wait, were they all ordered to? Were you supposed to kill all those people?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And if I'm lucky, you guys
so he's just
might
nuts.
be coming to my wedding soon.
A little bit.
But why would he do that?
But he operates on what others have reported as his own sense of justice, however warped that may be.
Yeah.
But still, what reason could he possibly have for killing a child?
What child was this?
It was a young boy, I'd guess about 10 years
Oh,
old.
he's fine.
I see. Perhaps one day you'll be able to ask that question to the boy himself.
The boy?
We still don't know the story behind that.
So how does this guy know everything?
Yes, sir.
He's the president of the Daily Days.
What does that have to? But like, wasn't this just like yesterday?
Yes, and we also learn at the Daily Days that Claire / Vino / all those other names was in contact with the Gandor family. So then we see a scene kind of that's closer to the scene from the first episode where we see everyone getting off the Flying Pussyfoot, and we kind of see a different angle of Isaac, Miria, and Firo and Ennis like all greeting each other and everything. And then the Gandors are given a telegram. So, and then they leave the train station to where we see Vino/Claire. Well, we see Claire, who then asks to be referred to as Vino.
Or the rail tracer.
Or the rail tracer. And so they're like, all right. So they're just like, hi guys, this is our weird brother. He changes his name frequently and also kills people. And we love him.
Wait. Don't they all kill people?
They all got, I mean,
technically,
like, they're all the mob, but like.
And also, like, he's an assassin. So, like, what's the, like, I'm, like.
It's so funny. They label him as an assassin, but they do kind of, well, I think that's this next scene, so maybe I'll pause and talk about that. So yeah, Claire's really funny. So he's kind of looking for people to kill. He said the last night, which was on the Flying Pussyfoot, was a walk in the park. And so he wants a real challenge, which whatever that means.
Question mark.
And so, and he says, with a bit of luck, the Gandors might just find themselves attending his wedding in the near future. To which we have no idea what he's talking about.
Is he getting married?
We have yet to see what he's talking about with that, but yeah, there's still events on the Flying Pussyfoot that we don't know about yet.
Right.
Which is fun.
Okay.
So the funny thing about Vino is that he's an assassin, but he also just like kills a lot of people, and so it seems like it's indiscriminately. And the kind of idea is that Vino has his own warped sense of justice, so maybe it's not the sense of justice that everyone else has, but he kind of has his own idea of what's right or wrong, kind of like when he got pissed about the guy killing Tony, and then he wants, get rid of the black suits and the white suits, because he's over that. And so, he kills things based on what he thinks is right. Doesn't mean it's actually right, because he's an interesting fella.
Yeah.
That's all we can really ascertain from this.
Yeah.
And then Rachel asks why he would kill a child, because apparently he kills a child. And the president makes a very interesting comment and says that maybe eventually she'll be able to ask the boy himself.
Because he's alive?
Because the president knows that this child in question kind of comes back pretty easily.
Also not a child, technically.
Not a child. Just looks like one. Oh my gosh, we still have a lot of this episode left. This is fun though. I'm having a good time. So we're gonna go back to 1930. We've been like pretty standard for the most part of this episode about like Flying Pussyfoot and talking about the events on it, but now we're just gonna like go back. We're like, that was fun, folks. Let's do something else now. We're gonna go back to 1930. Dara, do you remember Dallas Genoward?
We're in 1930?
We're in 1930 now.
Hey.
It's Ennis.
And Dallas.
What is this?
Oh, didn't they do a thing to him?
Yeah.
This ain't right. I think that girl, she injected us with something.
Yes.
Sure did.
Yes, she did.
Go ahead. Take your best shot.
What the hell are you doing to her?
Oh.
Done slurped his buddy.
Well, they're traumatized.
Well, you boys have led unsavory lives.
Sure have.
But
They left the area right away. There's no sign that I was followed.
I see. Then there should be no problem.
Yes, sir.
It appears.
Yeah, we can trust Isaac. They're fine.
They're kind of idiots, so they're not
We must be
suspecting
careful
anything.
not to reveal ourselves.
But don't hurt them.
Why don't you have these three go steal it? Would you prefer to do battle with the Mafia? These three are meant to keep us out of it. And once they are finished, I will devour them. If any of you gentlemen.
But Dallas is
would
only
like to
half
fight
immortal,
against
right?
us,
Yeah.
then you can
So, like,
certainly take
which
that
means that he can
bait.
age.
Yeah.
And we'll just die of old age.
Yeah.
But nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Correct.
That's fine.
We'll see.
Genovia?
Dallas Genovia. Yes. Remember last time we saw him?
He got injected with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. He got some stuff
To make him half immortal, which means that you just die of old age.
Correct. So that means that if you're injured, you can heal yourself, but you still age. So
Does that mean, like, can you still live, like, longer than normal humans?
I don't really know. I think it's just like a standard your regular life expectancy.
Okay.
Is the idea. But so Sillard is kind of running the show here because he says that he will ask questions, but not before he schlorps somebody.
Yeah, but to prove its point.
Yeah, So he proves his point. He schlorps somebody, and he gets kind of an idea of what's going on, and then he kind of assigns Dallas and the other boys a job to do because he wants to get his secret formula back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he doesn't want, and the men are kind of like, why the hell are you doing that? Like, why would you give an incomplete product, which is still pretty good, to these, like, rapscallions? And Sillard kind of doesn't want to get involved with the mafia. He's like, I'm gonna make these guys do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, makes sense. So he's gonna assign them a job to do. And back on the Flying Pussyfoot, we're talking with the Lemures. Or Lemures. I don't know.
It took some doing, but we were able to rescue your daughter from those unfortunate people in white suits. Tomorrow morning
Which
is
is
a
worse?
big day for you two. Signal
Great
flags
question.
us up over- If it should come to pass that we cannot reach an understanding with your husband, we will be forced to demonstrate our willingness to act. We will be forced to kill your daughter. Not that there's much comfort to be had by this, but I thought you should know. I will shoot her myself.
Damn.
Okay.
Thanks, Goose. And so there's this guy, Goose. His name is Goose.
Yes.
That's all you
I
need
think
to
we
know about
established that.
Yeah, we did, but sometimes I just have to go back and think about it a little bit. And so he's talking with Mary Barium, who's reunited with her daughter, Kiki. Oh, Natalie Barium. Sorry, Natalie Barium is the wife. Kiki is the daughter. And they're basically talking about how they're trying to do a ransom, or, they're like...
Oh, that's how they're going to get
Yes.
Lafayette out of the...
Yes, they're holding them hostage because they're trying to get them to free their leader, Huey Lafayette, or Marquis de Lafayette, out of prison. And so if they don't respond, they will be killed.
Well, the daughter will be.
Yes, the daughter. They're
Also, question.
Yeah.
How is the senator's in New York, right? Or like Washington?
Yeah.
But
I think New York.
And this isn't really a spoiler, but they established that Lafayette's imprisoned in Canada.
Yeah.
So how are we going to get him out if it's a different country?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Unless they're in Newfoundland, that's not Canada. But I'm assuming...
The other Newfoundland.
Right, how many Newfoundlands are there? Yeah, new Newfoundland.
Well, there's Finland.
Yeah, it's Canada.
Yeah. So how are we going to do that?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Everybody knows Canada is just discount America. Ho ho! Don't kill me, our Canadian fans.
I was going to say it was better America.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit. It's all right.
They have free healthcare.
They do. I am a little jealous about that.
Yeah.
Guys. I'm not going to lie. So back in 1930,
well, at least the mom's going to be okay.
Yes.
Hey, Ray, that's lucky for you. How am I supposed to know if that box over there is really yours? Sorry, pal. You're gonna have to wait till luck comes back.
Oh. They're just gonna kill him. Oh no. Dudes, we're just playing cards.
Are they just random people? Do we care about them?
Yeah, they're just random Gandalfs, I think.
That's fine.
This is so fun. I don't know if I can stop laughing.
He's fine.
Oh.
Well, they're not dead.
No.
No.
Nighty-night, Dallas.
But he's not dead.
He's just taking a nap.
But
he'll be back shortly.
Well, in like 10 seconds?
You know, that kind of hurt.
Oh, right to the forehead.
But he can still get slurped, though.
I'm actually immortal.
Well.
Amazing. It's freaking unbelievable.
Oh, what an asshole. Dallas and his gang go to the Coraggioso because they are trying to get into the Gandor's headquarters in there. Who's all located in the Coraggioso? Is it just the Gandor family? Is it the Coraggioso is a small jazz hall. And it's the headquarters of the Gandor family.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. The Gandalfs. So they go in and they see the crate right there of the secret formula, which is awesome. And they, there's just guys playing cards down there who belong to the Gandalf family, and they're like, hey, let's give me that. And they're like, no. And so they kill him. The end.
Yes.
One of the guys manages to survive and shoots Dallas in the head.
But
the thing is, he just takes a quick nap because he's back up in no time and kill more people. So they are really enjoying this idea of being immortal.
Right, but do they not remember the slurping?
Yeah. They're not very bright. So they just kind of want to do what they want. They want to guarantee that they can get their payment before they give the formula back.
So do they not think these guys are just going to kill them? And they know that they can kill them?
They know that they can kill them, but they think they're scrappier than that.
So they think they can get out of being slurped?
Yeah. They're not very smart.
Do we know what happened to Dallas now?
No, we don't.
So not slurped?
Maybe slurped, but maybe something else.
Yeah, but if you're saying that means it probably wasn't slurped.
I wish I could say more, Dara.
Well, it makes me think he's still alive. And maybe my theory of something traumatic happens, and then he realizes, holy shit, what have I been doing with my life? And then he runs off and starts a family.
Oh, Dara.
And doesn't tell anybody.
That would be really fun, wouldn't it?
Right. Well, I mean, like, somebody, even a dick can be traumatized so much that they changes his ways.
So yeah, but Dallas right now is still a dick, and he's kind of riding that power trip and everything. But before we figure out what he's gonna do, we are back on the Flying Pussyfoot, and our ending scene is a little interesting because we have some run-ins with some very interesting characters. Lad,
yeah,
who again is covered blood, is having a good time.
Yeah,
and he goes into a freight hold with Ches, who's the Dodger.
Yep.
Our small little child he's fine.
What is it you want, little shit?
Where did they get the kid?
You're a really powerful guy, mister.
What kind of favor?
Why are you looking at me like that, mister? You're scaring me.
Shut up.
He's good.
This kid's a master of manipulation.
He's definitely been doing it for like 200 years.
For the guys in black suits. Make me laugh or make me angry, and that will decide whether you live or die.
Okay, here it is. All those people in the dining car. Would you please kill them for me, sir?
What's that? Do you even know what you're saying?
Wait, all of them?
Yeah, because you know why?
Why?
He wants to find out who's the immortal.
Oh.
Ah.
Look, listen, he's seen some shit, and he knows what he's doing. I like him.
Oh yeah, he's a really interesting character. But yes, he has seen some shit, and it's really funny because we don't know all of Chez's deal yet, but we know part of his deal, which is that, he's been around for a couple hundred years now. He's an immortal, and he's the only character with an inner monologue, because we actually hear his thoughts, which is really interesting. And we know that his voice in his inner monologue is a little more kind of sinister sounding than how he presents himself. So he kind of turns around and he turns on the cute charm and he tries to, he kind of talks about, he's like, wow, mister, gee whiz, wow, far out. He doesn't say far out, but
that's not this time period.
He tries to compliment Lad, and then he eventually asks him a favor, and Lad is just like, what the hell does this little kid want from me who kills a bunch of people?
And it's like, I want you to kill a bunch of people.
And yeah, Chess is like, can you kill a bunch of people? I want you to go back in that dining car and kill everybody.
Because he wants to find out who the other immortal is.
Yes. And so, yeah, we as the audience know that he's very concerned that there's another immortal running around, because he knows, because he said his true name, which he didn't intend on, which meant that there was an immortal around. And yeah, so he wants Lad to just kill everybody.
So I guess he doesn't have much value for human life anymore.
Chess has seen some shit, guys.
That's fair.
This poor kid has seen some shit, and I think we'll learn about that today. Not on this episode or the next episode, but we recording this, we'll learn about that today. But anyway, yes, so that's where we end the episode, and then we see that, of course, Claire is there and listening. Because why not?
Why the hell
Dude
not?
is everywhere.
Well, so isn't this the point where Dodger gets his head blown off?
No, not yet. That happens in the next episode.
All right. Well, we knew that.
Spoilers.
We knew that was gonna happen anyway.
We didn't know because that was one of the scenes in the first episode. But that is today's episode. Dara, what did you think of this episode?
I think I like the next episode more.
Yeah, there's some fun things that happen in the next episode.
I mean, like, I was just kind of okay with it. The real Chaser just being a monster, so like, but like this twist is like it's fine. I wasn't like I guess I wasn't that invested.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, okay, like it's a human, crazy guy with covered in blood. That's fine.
That's fine.
The killing was cool. I approve of that.
Yeah, the violence was fun because you see more.
It was hard to tell like, at
violence.
one point because it was very dark and they looked alike. So I'm like, wait, which one's which?
Who's dying right now?
Yeah. There was some other stuff that was fine. Stuff with Dallas was fine.
It was fine. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But like again, if you don't have Isaac and Mira or Jacuzzi's gang,
yeah,
I don't care.
It weakens the episode a little bit. All right, I get fair point here. I was mostly excited in this episode because I've been waiting for the introduction of Claire / Vino / all those other names. So that was really fun to me. And just like having that kind of, I think, starts tying things together a little more. But there's still things to learn. There's still things we don't know. But things are starting to become a little clearer. And the end is not quite in sight yet. But we know that the tracks will end eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So that is this episode. So I like these this unanswered questions list is getting a lot shorter because in almost every episode they're like
there's something.
They're like, who's that, or who's
Well, it feels like the first half they were like, here's all the questions, and now it's like, let's answer all the questions.
Yeah, exactly. So it sets up a lot. And I told you we would get them answered. It just took a while. All right, so we are going to reflect on that for a little bit, so I hope you all enjoyed that. But if you stay tuned, we're going to talk about Baccano, Episode 10. Cheslin Mayer is forced to rework his Tremble Before the Spectre of Immortals strategy. Stay tuned. That was the episode already!
Oh, good God. I'm so good. Like, we haven't seen Fierro in a while.
That's true.
What's he up to?
He's just doing mob things.
Okay, so the real Tracer's a guy, a crazy guy.
He's a little crazy, but I love him.
He's also the young conductor who's alive, and the other body was one of
Lad's gang.
It's Lad's gang.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? Dallas we knew Dallas was like half immortal.
Yeah.
The real Tracer guy who was the young conductor. I guess can fly, but not fly.
He's basically Dick Grayson, except Dick Grayson decided to murder people.
That's Robin, right?
Yeah, that's Robin.
That's the
first Robin.
He's basically
who also grew up in a circus.
But that's like Batman's story, right?
No,
but like his parents murdered.
So were Dick Grayson's parents, I think.
Oh,
they died. Yeah. But yeah, he's basically like the first Robin, except a little off his rocker and murders people. But he's a Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like an adopted Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting family ties.
Somehow that I boarded the train without a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Schwarzfahren.
There doesn't seem to be any question then.
Holy strawberries, Batman, are we in a jam?
All right, next episode.